Okay, well, I'm Karen. I went to the project Amapakashi in 2010 in February. I really enjoyed it. It was more than I expected, really. The thing I particularly enjoyed was how authentic it is, how it's very rural, still very traditional lifestyle, and so you really sort of got a experience of the real India.
I went donkeys years ago, actually. I went about 24 years ago now to India. I went after I graduated from university, had enough of UK life and applied for jobs, and I thought, let's go and see the real India. And maybe there's an element of trying to discover my roots in it as well, but really it was more a case of seeing the real India for myself. Up until then, if I'd been to India, it was with a family, so it was mostly visiting relatives, looking at a few tourist sites, but not really seeing the real India, the India that we always drove past or were on the, going past on the train. And so going to APK as part of what was called IBCS at the time, but that's VRI, was just a brilliant opportunity to be able to see rural India up close and see whether I could get involved and support it in any way.
Okay. What's your involvement in VRI now?
Well, I mean, since coming back, one of the things I recognise is you quite easily forget the things that you've seen and learnt and experienced when you've been there. So by joining the committee, pretty much as soon as I got back from India after the first trip, I got involved into the committee, and a few years later I actually got elected into the chairperson's position, which I ended up holding for about 15 years, so it was a long stint, But it was great fun, very challenging, and a great opportunity to stay in touch with what was happening in India and what the project was doing.
What were the sorts of things that you were doing as part of the committee?
As part of the committee, a lot of sort of maybe decision making on helping with fundraising, how some of the funds could have been used at the project. Obviously the project would have the final say as to how that funding is used, but we'd be there to make sure that it was in line with the constitution of the charity and that we were doing the right things. Also, there was a lot of fundraising going on. I remember organising go-karting events where you have a go-karting event for about 150 people in the UK, and 6 months later a school's being built in India. That's the weird sort of world we're in. And what was good about being in the committee and also staying in touch with the project was being able to go back to India over and over again. I've been back about 8 times, I think, and seeing the project really progress, and some of the work that we've been doing in the UK actually, hit the targets that it's trying to achieve.
I joined the committee since I got back as well. Yeah. Obviously it was more recently, but I found the fact that it's quite a small charity here. It's very accessible. There's not many things where you could get involved on the ground there in India and then come back and actually be involved in running as a charity as well. So yeah, straight away I signed up as a trustee and a committee member. Haven't done quite as much as you, but just recently getting involved trying to set up a few new things like cooking classes, but more yoga, things like that, making it a little bit more organised and appealing to a wide range of people. So it's really interesting. I've been back once since then as well, and definitely will go back again. Definitely, yeah.
What's your fondest memory of being in India? one memory each.
Probably Holi festival, and just being warned in advance but having no idea really how crazy it would be, utterly drenched in coloured dye, chased all over the area of the village there, being chased by the kids. It's great, just really involved, yeah, excellent.
I've got quite a few memories actually, but I think things that stand out is driving a tractor through the fields, driving the school bus, which is also a tractor, pulling a cart behind me with loads of kids. Also getting involved in the science fair where we built a volcano made of mud and had the full mechanism to actually get it to erupt with different coloured liquids and things. I'm organising again as part of the Science Museum, getting a band together where we all played bottles where we were blowing over the top of the bottles out, and each bottle had a different amount of water in it, so we had a little concert of bottles like that, So things like that, you just end up doing the weirdest things when you're there. You don't expect it. Putting up a big banner for a conference in a hall and having to shoo goats out whilst you're doing that, and watching the monkeys coming in and trying to nick some of the crayons and things. So, it's just so many different weird experiences.